If we were raised as givers rather than takers, which many highly sensitive people, that's pretty much a given that some people pleasing will be part of that. Other people's discomfort affects us more. If other people are dissatisfied or unhappy with anything we've done, we might feel it even more than they do because we're porous and we're sensitive and we pick up on things. So, in order to avoid that discomfort, often we will try to control the situation by making them comfortable to the detriment of our own comfort. That's why I'm always talking about comfort over convenience, especially when we're practicing something where we need to be able to relax and receive. So, yeah, it is satisfying to give. And there are a lot of different ways we can approach giving. But if the fire hose is always going out from us, what's that going to do to your nervous system, to other people's nervous system? And is it sustainable? Or do you have to go back into your cave and hibernate to recharge yourself? So I found for myself as a recovering people pleaser that focusing on allowing myself to receive fills me up, helps me feel fulfilled. And guess what? It's satisfying for those who give to me. You know, the feeling of giving, you know how it can feel good and satisfying? We have to be willing to let others do that for us, or they don't get the benefit. So at least do it to be generous. Receive to be generous. And when we express gratitude towards specific moments we're grateful for, that's a gift we're giving to someone else. If at any point the should creeps in, that's draining and feels inauthentic. And that's another thing about highly sensitive people is being authentic can be so liberating. And being inauthentic can be especially draining for us. If we haven't met before, my name's Kate Lynch, a mindfulness teacher for highly sensitive people, neurodivergent people, and parents of neurodivergent kids. Those who are listening to the recording, I really appreciate you. Those in the Compassion Club, there's a special place in my heart for you because I get to see you live and I'm more involved in your life. Long-term relationships are absolutely my jam. We are caring, feeling people. We can't really shut out what's happening in the world. So there are going to be things that are frustrating, that are terrifying, that are sad. Do something that physically grounds you because our bodies are this place that we can rely on for truth. And for mindfulness, I'm going to do a little bouncing in my chair. You could stomp your feet. Let's just ground ourselves in this moment and be present. I'm going to bounce. You could shake anything that's going to help you feel like you have a body, connect with what's here in this present moment. Maybe you clap on yourself. I feel like I want to pat my back and clap my thighs. There's so many ways to kind of wake it all up and bring ourselves into our bodies. Our bodies always live in the present moment. They carry the past, but if we bring attention to them, mindfulness gives us an opportunity to be here and present. Does that make sense? Okay. Once you feel that I'm here, I feel present in my body, and invite you to then lean back, find something to lean back against. Maybe you have a little cushion for the back of your head, or maybe there's a wall. You could lie down. You could angle yourself a little. We will be doing some breathing practice, so maybe your head is higher than your heart, especially if you have any upper respiratory congestion because if we lie completely flat, sometimes that gets aggravated. So head and chest a little on an angle or seated. I do recommend literally putting something at your back so that the place between your shoulder blades feels fully supported and there's an openness through the front of your spine. Once we're there, feel your spine, starting at the bottom where your spine sits in your pelvis, and then up from there to where your spine attaches to your ribs, where your neck curves up to support your skull in the center. Take a moment to settle into this feeling of support. Maybe there's a little more space now from shoulder to shoulder. Notice any changes in your breath. All right, I'm going to help us tune in with the sound of Om. You can join or you can listen. And then I'd like to go right into a humming practice after that. So it's literally humming, just humming. And you'll do it at your pace, so the length of your breath, and then you'll inhale and begin again. And see if that starts to vibrate or buzz your lips, your mouth, down into your throat, maybe fully into your body and your head, or maybe you just feel it at your lips. Either way is totally fine. Last round. When your hum fades out, you might continue to hear the sound in your inner ear. Why do we make sounds? What's the point of that? It's another practice for self-regulation. It can support nervous system regulation, which is important for gratitude because when our nervous system is regulated, we have more equanimity. We are not as much in comparison mode. Often, when we're in an activated mode of our nervous system, like a fight or flight response, we feel a threat, then we'll be more in a downward comparison, like we feel the need to see ourselves as over, compare ourselves to others in that way. And then when we're in more of a collapsed state of our nervous system, you might have your own kind of twist on this, right? Your own default mode. But when we're in the collapse mode, often we're in upward comparison. So we see others as doing better in some way. When our nervous system is in a regulated, safe, and social place, equanimity is more available. I hope that makes sense. We have a lot of different tools to get there. Gratitude isn't something we can just turn on, and it's certainly not something that anyone else could tell us when to or what to be grateful for. That just won't work. Sometimes a way in to gratitude, especially if we have those shoulds or that heaviness around the word, or there are other reasons that the word feels too much or too intense or saccharine or just not authentic to you, just use a different word. Maybe use appreciation or I'm glad. Finding a way to receive, which can be hard for a lot of us, but just taking in some little bit to create an opening for more, to be able to receive more. So I'll invite you, if your posture has changed, to check in, to settle in, to have that sense that you are supported. Maybe you're on that angle or maybe you're upright, but you can have the sense that someone or some community has your back. It could be a spiritual practice, it could be a group, it could be your family if you have that kind of family who you really feel has your back. Maybe it's your ancestors, maybe it's your dog. So we'll call this our compassionate guide, whoever it is. We could also call it our Sangha that has our back, sees us in our wholeness, and holds us no matter what. It takes us as the whole package and is here for all of it. Hopefully, you can think of someone in your life who has your back in that way. Or in the past, if nothing comes up for you, don't worry. Maybe there's a historical figure or even a fictional figure. I bounce between my best friend, who is here for me and is present in my life right now, and one of my favorite fictional heroes, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It is important to establish that first. Who has your back? Having that sense. And then as we allow the front of our bodies to be more open, collarbone to collarbone, maybe space across your ribs, openness through your belly as you lean in to that sense of support, start to breathe in, imagining the place between our shoulder blades receiving the breath. Whenever your out breath comes, just let it happen. Maybe you sigh, because that can also help our nervous system come to a place of regulation. So breathe in, receiving through the back of your heart. Breathe out and sigh. Receive through the back of your heart on your inhale. Release through a sigh on your exhale. We're eventually going to get to a place where inhale and exhale are about even. Keep imagining inhaling through the back of your heart, opening that back door to receptivity, filling up. The exhale is less focused, more diffuse. If you're tired of sighing, you can just let your breath be kind of a mist rising or sinking or deflating. We're really focused on the inhale. Seeing if there are any places, especially through the front of your torso, that could fill with breath a little more as you receive through the back of your heart. The inhale is our focus. The exhale is just happening because it needs to happen. The emptiness needs to come in order for the next inhale to fill us. And as you're doing this, you might notice a slight change in your energy. You're allowing yourself to receive. And you can listen to the sound of your breath, appreciate the sound of your breath. On the next inhale, think to yourself, I'm so glad I can be myself. Let the exhale just happen. I'm glad I can be myself. I'm glad I don't have to pretend. Right here, right now. I'm glad I'm not faking it. Maybe there's another subtle thing that comes up as you breathe in. I'm glad the sky's blue today. In this moment, the sky is blue. A few minutes ago, it was gray. Glad my shoulder doesn't hurt as much as it did yesterday. Make this your own. And keep letting the focus be filling up, receiving. What we might notice after a while is we feel a little full. So at that point, we start imagining someone in our life or someone maybe further afield who needs our generosity. For many of us, the generosity part is the easy part. The receptivity part, the gratitude part is the harder part. So I still want you to focus on filling on the inhale, receiving from the back of your heart, receiving from that compassionate guide. And then when you feel really full, that's when you exhale, beam generosity from the front of your heart toward that person, that group. And if at any point you start to feel depleted, go back to just the filling. You'll get to a place that feels more balanced, but we're not forcing it, we're not rushing into it. If your posture has changed, if any tension has crept in, you adjust. Notice how this feels. You're welcome to put any reflections in the chat if there's something strong coming through that you'd like to share. If your breath doesn't feel quite balanced, I just want to remind you balance is elusive. It's inevitable to be out of balance, but our practice helps us strive toward it, return to that center. That's why we practice, because life throws us off. Life pushes us. And by practicing, it helps us find that place that comes back closer to center. All right. Relax your breath, please. Maybe you relax into the physical or mental emotional support at your back. You just allow your breath to be a natural breath. Invite you to notice your body as it is. Return your attention to the groundedness, the mindfulness of being in the present moment in your body. Breath is still happening, whether we're paying attention to it or not. Our bodies are still here, whether we're paying attention to them or not. These are tools that are always available. And I'd like to offer a visualization, a snapshot of your life where you felt some appreciation and or appreciated in some way. Something you can really bring into your visual sense if you're a visual person, or if you're not, more of a list or a strong memory where there was something positive. Either you were appreciated or you are doing the appreciating. Notice I'm using a different word, right, for gratitude. Immerse yourself in this memory. If it helps to close your eyes, please do. Notice what it looked like three-dimensionally. Imagine looking around in whatever space it is. If you're walking outside or if you're floating somewhere, if you're with someone, maybe you see them right in front of you. What did it smell like? Is there any taste associated or any tactile sensation on your skin? What were you hearing? Notice in this place how you felt appreciated. What do you have to give to it? Be as granular as you can. Get very clear on your gift in that moment. And then what you can appreciate from it. The gift you received from that moment. How can we hold both at the same time so that there is this balance and this flow? If we're always giving, that can be draining. If we're always receiving, It can feel unfulfilling. Finding this balance between gratitude and generosity can feel really authentic, especially if you're a highly sensitive person, a way to be in connection, in a relationship with others in the world. It can be a very small thing. Like if you're feeling really drained, maybe your gift is a way of blowing a kiss or just a tiny Buddha smile as you appreciate the treetops and the colors of the leaves. It does not have to be a big deal. We can train our brains in this way to return to this place of equanimity where there's opportunity for both being held and for holding. Settle back to have that sense of being held, almost as if you can drift in it. If you can close your eyes, please do. You can soften your jaw and the tops of your shoulders and your throat. Feel the openness through the front of your spine, softness of your gut, pelvis, thighs, heaviness of your arms and legs, hands and feet, as if you can feel the flesh loosening on your face and limbs, dropping toward the earth and releasing to gravity. I'll invite you to open your eyes the tiniest bit and to make a cup in front of your chest with your hands, as if you've just scooped up some water and you're holding it there and you want to keep it in that cup between your hands so it won't spill out. Just that little bit of water. So your palms are facing the ceiling, shoulders are relaxed. If this feels uncomfortable, you can imagine the mudra. And if your eyes can be 1/10 open, you can gaze into the cup. Now, I invite you to project something in some future moment where you're just receiving all of the abundance you can possibly imagine. Dream really big, as big as your nervous system can hold. Maybe it's like a waterfall of goodness, allowing yourself to really receive it, soak it up, let it drop into your hands and overflow. And you can watch this, just receiving, like your hands are under a tap and it's just gushing, overflowing and dripping out around you, spreading in all directions, whatever it is that you'd like to receive in abundance, overflowing abundance. Can you still be your authentic self while receiving this overflowing abundance? Can you allow yourself to be here, be present without faking it? There's no guilt allowed in a fantasy. There are no shoulds. It could be anything pouring into your hands, overflowing, bubbling over, drenching the earth in all directions. endless bounty. Whenever you feel ready, you can start to scoop your hands into your heart, crossing your hands, palms facing your heart, crossing over each other. We're going to end with Om Shanti, receiving peace, generously sharing peace with those who we're close to, and then rippling it out to all beings. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you. I'm grateful for those of you who are in the Compassion Club because it makes these free workshops possible. If you would like to join, please join us. We've got an annual special right now. It's last year's rate. It's an incredible deal. And those who are already in the Compassion Club, if you want to jump on that, you can also jump on it. Okay, thank